Hi, I'm Bill Sisson, the editor of Soundings Trade Only, and I'm here today in Louisville for the opening of IBEX. And I'm here with Matt Gruhn, the president of MRAA. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, Bill. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. Matt, let's talk a little bit about the dealer segment of the industry this morning.
Sure.
How have they held up this year? I've heard good things, positive things. Why don't you give us some insight on that?
Yeah, from all indications, the year's gone very well. The dealer body I've heard many reports as far as some dealers having record years, and just overall a very bright 2012.
Matt, what's your best projection for new boat sales year over year now, and maybe toward the end of the season?
Well, I think the most commonly spoken about number is probably 10%. We're seeing about a 10% increase year over year. Based on your market, based on where you're at, it could be higher than that, could be lower than that. But we're seeing about 10% growth for the industry.
Well, that must be a real boom to a lot of dealers.
Yeah, it is. And one of the things to take into consideration with this is that during the recession, we lost probably 30 to 35% of the dealer body. So we went from about 5,000 dealers to closer to 3,000, 3,200, somewhere right in there.
Significant drop.
It's significant, yeah. And so what we have now is we have many fewer dealers and doing more business. So that means good things for the dealer body. It makes them more healthy, makes them more stable, and they're certainly having a better year.
Smaller industry, but they're getting a little bigger piece of the pie, so to speak.
Absolutely.
And Matt, at the same time, I know through the recession, those dealers who have survived turn to other forms, other revenue streams, whether it be service, the marinas. Talk about that. Is that helping carry that today as well?
Absolutely. The diversification that the dealers were kind of forced into when the recession hit really had them focusing on what we consider alternative profit center service department, parts and accessories, F&I, used boats, and so forth. And they were able to put a focus on those areas so that they could perform better, they could make more profits out of those departments. And now with new boat sales coming along, it's just adding to their profitability and making them even stronger than they already were.
So that not only learn the value of service, but they're going to maintain that and present another product.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great, as tough as the recession was, it turned out to be a very good learning experience for many dealers in that it helped them to diversify, and really just strengthen their business overall.
I think another lesson that we all learned, dealers included, was the inventory lesson. If they're caught with too much, it's not a good thing. Talk to me about what you're hearing about inventory levels in the field today.
I think we're at a point now where we're still working to find the right balance. We've heard stories of dealers that maybe lost sales this year because they didn't have a specific product in inventory. Was that because they didn't order it? Was that because it wasn't available? There's different stories all over the place. I think what we're doing is finding that new kind of happy medium where we need to be with our inventory. How much should the dealers carry? How much should the manufacturers produce? And working together really to find what is the right mix.
So you think the lessons learned are going to carry over for a while longer?
Absolutely. I think there were some tough times. A lot of the tough times were due to the fact that many dealers got stuck with too much inventory, and having worked through that and gone through the pain of working through that, I think it's now a kind of a slow build up to where we need to be as an industry.